Episode 6, Stakeout. And it's another Anne Hop Hop have to learn to, they learn from each other. They're always yelling at each other, complain, and it's a little bit of a complainer. I like her. I like this character. She's cool. She's funny, but she seems to be a little too disrespectful from time to time. Always complaining about every situation. Like she's on this couch. Oh, it's so lumpy. It's hard as a rock. And he's like, well, and then Hop Pop's like, well, back in my day, that's the whole setup. Is she says something about from Earth, where she's from, and then Hop Pop counters with something that in my day it was like this. Like she's carrying these turnips outside, and he's like, "Oh, watch out for that rock there," and she trips on it, and she's all pissed off because the things was heavy. He's like, "Well, in my day, people didn't complain so much, and they watched where they were going," and they keep getting at each other's throats, and they're fighting and fighting. Sprig wants to help. He's like, there was a family that lived next door, and all they did was argue, and their family got split up. And it's that guy from the first episode, the guy with the accordion. He's like raiding their house, like scavenging it. He like stole all their plates and spoons, and then he pushes the wheelbarrow from the front. I don't know if that's a gag about him being weird, because why wouldn't you use the actual side of the you're supposed to use? But of course, Sprig's freaking out because he's like, I gotta fix it. Polly, the smart one's like, you can't force people to be friends. You just can't do it. And then you get that same gag where he's like, yes, Polly, I'm not going to do that. And he like kind of tries to sneak away, and he keeps saying it. He's like, okay, we know what you're going to do. It's that, if I keep saying I'm not going to do something, it's going to fool them. No, it's going to make everyone more suspicious. So his plan was to steal a bunch of corn and then be like, oh, there's a thief out there. We have to do a stakeout, and Ann and Hop Hop are going to do it. And they're going to catch this guy, forcing them to work together so they'd become friends. Not a good idea, because forced things it never works. So they kind of agree to it, and they're going to be out there, and Sprig's going to be spying on them the whole time. They're out there, and I kind of like how it's not every single time they're fighting, because Anne's reading one of her magazines, and Hop Pop's like, hey, turn off the light. We don't want to scare the bandit away. And she just does it. She doesn't really complain too much about it. But then she starts to yawn, and there's Hop Pop's like, oh, I knew you were going to be the first one to fall asleep. I don't know if he's trying to be funny or like, I'm better than you. They kind of do it to each other, but I guess she pulls out like this super energy, like it literally has spikes on it. It kind of reminds me of an American Dad. What was it? Cougar Booster? It's like that. And then Hop Pop's like, hey, it's not better than my drink. It's like in this like monster goblet. Like it looks like it's filled with liquid death. But then they kind of like, oh, my drink's better. No, my drink's better. Oh, you couldn't handle it. So they end up switching drinks. And then Anne makes these ridiculously funny faces. And then Hop Pop drinks her energy drink. And they're both freaking out because, he's never experienced that, and she's never experienced his drink. They start kind of getting along a little bit, because Anne's like, you know what? I wonder about my life, if I'm ever going to get back to it, if I'm going to go back to my world. Then Hop Pop's like, I'm always yearning for the past, the golden years, And he's like, I guess we're kind of like that. We're similar that way. We're both looking to something that we don't have. I'm like, oh, cool. They're kind of starting to work out a little bit. But, and, she goes, oh, yeah, we're kind of the same, but, my situation's worse. What? It's not a competition, and you don't have to one up every single thing Hop Pop says. And then Hop Pop puts her in her place a little bit. Oh, look at me, man. Everything's worse for me. I got the worst life ever. And they start in at each other. Then she's like, oh, at least I don't have a kettle for a head. And she's like, what? And yeah, at least my hair isn't made of rainbow colors. So they're having some type of like freak out over like, because the drinks that they ingested, I guess, screwed with their minds. So now they have like these like, they're having hallucinations. So everything's going crazy, and they're having a shared hallucination, which is really weird. So they're having but in reality, nothing's happening. But in their minds, they're seeing all this crazy crap. Sprig's like, oh no, they're fighting again. They're yelling. So I'm going to go out there and steal more corn, and they have to do it again every single night. And he starts going crazy about it. He's like, and I'll keep doing it, and I'll go out every night. I'm going to keep stealing it. Paulie's like, you're crazy, man. You're going to ruin everything. And he's like, it's worth it if I can save the family. Like, he's just going crazy. He goes out there, tries to steal more corn, but Anne and Hop Pop see him like, oh, we got to stop the bandit. They see him, but in their minds, he's like this giant corn monster. I love how all the monsters look in the show. Not a single bad guy, enemy type of monster has been disappointing. They're all been really cool and very inventive, very imaginative. So they think he's this giant corn monster that like breathes fire. And this is the best part of the episode. They're like, oh, we gotta fight him. And they're like using like Dragon Ball Z power up moves. They're shooting like special beam cannon. And she's like doing this double arm attack. Looks so freaking awesome. Like, I love the way this looks. They're doing all these attacks, but in reality, they're just standing there, moving their arms. And Sprig's like, what are they doing? Like, they're not even fighting me. Like, oh no, he must be immune to our attacks. And they just keep making things up because they're going crazy. So Hop Pop, they're like, oh, we have to fight him. We have to use weapons. They grab like a pitchfork and a scythe. So this is getting dangerous now. So Sprig's running away. They're chasing him down. He's begging for his life, but they only see like the corn monster. But then Anne's like, well, wait a minute, that sounds kind of like Sprig. And then I guess the hallucination starts to wear off, and they see that they were attacking Sprig the whole time. But in that the best friendships are forged in battle, right? So Anne's like, oh wow, even though there was no real no corn thief, when we fought, you defended me, you fought for me. And then he's like, hey, that's what friends do, in your battle you take care of each other. And then Anne's like, oh no, in my world that's called having your friends back. And like, oh, they make a little friendship there. And then Hop Pop, what does he say? He says something crazy. It's like he calls it pulling a Stinky McGuire. I don't know why these gags are so funny to me, and they never really go anywhere. Like, the joke never goes beyond that moment, but they're just funny moments. And then he's like, well, since you don't know Stinky, it doesn't make sense to you, so we'll just call it having your friends back. So I thought that was fun, a fun bonding moment. Both these episodes were Hop Pop and episodes. Hopefully the show grows beyond that. I know I'm really, really behind, so I'm probably going to try to push out at least two. It's funny how there's 2 stories per episode, so I don't know if they're separate episodes or not, but they're like up to like part 21, and I'm like at part 6, so I'm gonna work my way through these. I still recommend the series just for the comedy alone. You'll learn to love Anne and the Frog family. Sprig's adorable. Polly's I'm starting to like Polly a little bit more. Hop Pop's the old curmudgeon. It's a good dynamic, even though it's cliche and formulaic. It's fun to see these characters go through these adventures. So hopefully we get to learn more. We get to see some more of our friends. But look out for more episodes coming really soon. So thanks for watching, guys. Crimson Saint here. Thanks for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single upload. If you have any tips or story ideas, hit us up on Twitter at C15Podcast, or better yet, join our Discord server, link in the description below.